Good evening, everyone. Today is April the 1st, which is Saturday. I know you haven't seen Wilhelmina on my YouTube and also on my Facebook. The reason why you haven't seen Wilhelmina update of my video because I was really extremely busy. I was busy interviewing lots of inquiry buyers looking for gold and rough diamond from different part of the world. 50% didn't meet the criteria. And some, only 5% did meet the criteria. During my interview, I asked this potential buyer's mandate or buyer, how did you found Wilhelmina? And they said, I found you on your YouTube and I went through your Facebook. My question was really very simple. Did you really listen to the video thoroughly? Or did you really read the full corporate offer properly? On my YouTube, it says, click below, it says show more. The full corporate offer is on every video. And if you don't satisfied the information on the YouTube channel of Wilhelmina, there's a link on Facebook platform. You go and click the link of Wilhelmina's platform. You will see everything. Gold in Mali, gold in Sierra Leone, gold in Conakry, Guinea, diamond in Sierra Leone, diamond in Conakry, and so forth. So if you are a buyer, I know you've been dealing with different chain of broker. The chain of broker have no idea. They just only think about themselves. They come to Wilhelmina's platform and collect information of Wilhelmina. It's okay for me. Sometimes they copy the whole information and then they send it to the buyer. And those joker broker, they don't even show their faces. So how could the buyer believe to deal with those people that they don't even show their profile? They're hiding their profile. Wilhelmina is not hiding her profile. Alright? Wilhelmina is the extension of the seller. Wilhelmina was hired by the owner who produced gold. That's the reason why I expand the full corporate offer. It's really very extensive. If you're wise reader, I can guarantee that you are going to get what you are looking for. But if you are comparing prices to prices, I can guarantee that you are going to fail. Because gold is not CIF, cost, insurance, and freight only. It's not. This is cash business. Before you buy gold, you must have a capital. This is your business. You have a license, you have a business registration, you have importation license, but you don't have the supply. So how could you function your business if you don't have the supply? There's a saying, supply and demand determine the price. Now, I was been watching the group on WhatsApp, because I am a member. I was just reading this joker broker. I call them joker because they don't read. They just collect information, offering undervalued. They offer 32, they offered 33, they offered 40, they offered 45. My dear buyer, there is no way you can get that kind of price. Friday, the price of gold was almost 64. 63,700. Right. And those joker offer you cheap price. That gold is not. Maybe that gold was stolen. And how could you take out of the country if that owner of the gold has no license to export? Right. So, Mr. Buyer, don't be a fool running around comparing prices. You went to Ghana, you went to Kampala, you went to Nairobi, you went to Cameroon. What happened? You failed. There was a buyer, an Asian buyer, three Asian buyer. They went to Kampala, failure. They went to Nairobi, failure. They went to Sierra Leone, failure. They went to Mali, failure. Why you were being failure? It's really very simple. You were being offered to tease you in order to grab that offer. When you arrive on that country, you are a stranger, you must remember. And then that is not the price. There is a process. Mr. Buyer, read the full corporate offer. When you watch this video on my YouTube channel, listen very carefully. Read the full corporate offer. It is very extensively. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, what is the price? It is already in front of you. Our selling price, again and again, LBMA less 8%. You're gonna say, too expensive. Well, you are buying expensive item. And when you resell it to your customer in Dubai, or in New York, or in Hong Kong, or in Singapore, or in Germany, you're gonna sell it 2%. You still 6%. However, I mentioned that on my full corporate offer. Our selling price is flexible, especially if you're talking to Wilhelmina. Why? Wilhelmina is going to assist you. Wilhelmina will guide you properly. All the question and answer is already in front of you, Mr. Buyer. Those broker, please don't waste the time. You are just pretending that you have a buyer, but you don't have a buyer. Right. You're just collecting information. One joker broker copied all of my wording to wording. They copied the full corporate offer word per word, and he offered to a buyer, and then buyer came to me, and I told the buyer that is the procedure. So, oh, Wilhelmina, your procedure has been copied. That's okay. Let him enjoy. Let him learn. Because everybody come to Wilhelmina. I am the gatekeeper, Mr. Buyer. You will never get the supply without coming to Wilhelmina. My seller produce gold. Mali is the second largest gold producer in West Africa. There are 4 refineries in Mali. DNGM is the government. KMR and DNGM are now partners. They are collaborating. Then Marina. Then Unicorn Refinery. I mentioned this so that you would be aware. Because when you travel to Mali, I'm telling you, you are going to be failure. I know because I've been to Mali. Right, Mr. Buyer. Do not travel if you are not prepared. Do not. You were being offered cheap price, please. Do not. To travel alone is very costly. And when you lose money, you're going to say, oh, I was being scammed. Whose fault is that? Yours. Because your eyes is bigger than a dollar. You know, I watched the video. Those smuggler from Dubai, they travel to Africa. They are getting 2.5% discount. But you, Mr. Buyer, you buy from us. Wilhelmina is a very kind and generous. Because we want to deal with you in a long term, not a short term. Instead of 8%, I might consider to give you 10 or 11%, but don't bank on it. Because you have not convinced me. The reason why I'm going to give you 10, 11, or 12%, because I'm going to accompany you, and I am going to charge my travel cost to accompany you. If you cannot afford, meaning to say you don't have the cash. And if you're asking CIF to bring it to Dubai, most of the buyer dealing in Dubai because Dubai is a hub. Dubai is a buyer. I've been to Dubai. There's so many fake buyers in Dubai. So many. Believe me, you have no idea, Mr. Buyer. One foreigner, three foreigner, they open a company in Dubai, and that guy always calling to Wilhelmina. He suck in information, and I feel sorry for him. I introduce him to the owner of the jewelry manufacturer. We have a good dinner, and then suddenly he go behind my back. That's fine, because he would never get the gold. He has the license now. License is only a piece of paper. You travel to Africa, good luck. I think you went to Kampala, good luck. Because I'm telling you, who's watching me, this buyer, believe me, you are going to fail. Just like this American buyer from New York went to Sierra Leone. He was talking to me. He went to Sierra Leone. He didn't get the gold. And he said Sierra Leone is full of scammer. He's one of the scammer. Why? He's looking for cheap price. And he returned to New York empty-handed. Another guy from Holland. I met him in Jivora Hotel during the time. And I interviewed him. He went to Sierra Leone. He was dealing with the seller that offered cheap price. What happened? He said there's so many scammer. He is one of the scammer. Why? He's looking for cheap price. Right. There's another gentleman. His parents is from Sierra Leone. And he was born in United Kingdom. And he searched on YouTube. And he found me. And he flew to Sierra Leone. And he's brokering, bringing gold to Dubai. And suddenly he called me. Mrs. Ford, is it true that the Sierra Leone seller offered me $53,000? I said, yes. During the time. I think 3 months ago. I said, yes. The real seller would not sell you cheap price. Only fake seller. Those hungry seller, they just offer you, and then when he get your money, he will forget about you. They will go to the village and switch off the phone. Then another Indian. He flew to Sierra Leone dealing with local offer. He said, Madam, I was being offered 53. I'm here in Dubai, in Sierra Leone. I'm going to return to India. Madam, help me. I said, no, I cannot help you. First of all, you've been window shopping and you are already on the ground. And then you need Wilhelmina. I am not a policewoman. I only entertain buyers. That buyer is straightforward. That buyer is honest. There's so many fake buyers. There's so many liars. Either the seller is lying or the buyer is lying. Why? Why both parties are liars? Because of profit? Because of discount? Mr. Buyer, you don't need to lie. Mr. Seller, you don't need to deceive this international buyer because it would bounce back to your country's reputation. It bounced back. Yes. That is the reason why I bring the buyer myself, because I know my seller. When I come with the buyer, I make sure the buyer will get what he's looking for. But when I fly to Africa, like when I fly to Mali, when I'm going to apply to Conakry and Sierra Leone, my services is not for free. You already seen the full corporate offer that is already worth $1 million. Information is worth $1 million. And if you are not paying attention, I'm telling you, you are part of the smuggler. The smuggler are very sophisticated. Yes, they are sweet talker. Mr. Seller, I know you've been watching Wilhelmina. There's so many sellers asking me to handle them. I refuse it because I am committed only for my seller in Mali, Sierra Leone, and Conakry. I would love to bring the buyer to a particular destination after you meet Wilhelmina's validation. What is the meaning of validation? Maybe you don't understand what is the meaning of validation. Most of joker broker, they don't comprehend. Validation means I am going to interview you. Just like when you apply for a job. You have your own resume, you apply, you walk into the office, you will be interviewed. Now, we are now on virtual information. This is my office, a virtual office, and based in Brisbane, Australia. The gold is in Mali when you buy gold. The gold is in Conakry. The gold is in Sierra Leone and diamond. You're gonna say, well, Amina, I've been searching for gold. I encounter a lot of fake seller. Correct. That fake seller is going to offer you cheap price. That is gross. Remember, Mr. Buyer, in Mali, the tax is 7%. It is in here. It says show more. Click show more. You will see the tax in Mali, the tax in Conakry, the tax in Sierra Leone. You cannot evade taxes. If you are going to evade taxes, then you are part of smuggling. Then you are part of gold laundering. That is very dangerous. Mr. Seller, you need to be honest. Okay? You need to be honest to the international buyer. Do not deceive international buyer offering you undervalued. Now, Mr. Buyer, deal with us. Our selling price is tax included. Whatever the price on Monday, today is Saturday, Friday, the price of gold was 63,780, almost 64. So the price of gold is high and low. Okay, Mr. Buyer, that's the reason why I'm here. Today is Saturday. My virtual office opens 7 days a week. Why I'm here? To tell the world. Because I just finished interviewing the buyer's mandate. And this buyer's mandate says, I have a buyer, tons of gold. And I told this buyer's mandate, I don't believe that your buyer can afford tons of gold. Tell your buyer to send a formal letter of interest. Attention to Wilhelmina. Do not cut and paste because I want to see the background of the buyer. Then I would know which seller I'm going to place the buyer. Either I'm going to place the buyer in Mali, the second largest gold producer in West Africa. Either I'm going to place the buyer in Conakry and Sierra Leone. So I will determine after my validation, after you meet the interview, after you will be qualified. Now, Mr. Buyer, I want to meet you live conference on Skype. There's so many joker broker on WhatsApp. The group, so many group, there are 200 members, there are 600 members, there are 250 members. They are all joker to me. I've been watching members of the WhatsApp. They are just running around exchanging information. I have a buyer, rah, rah, rah. To me, they are not a buyer. Why? I know them. I know them. I've been watching all the members of WhatsApp. They don't know what they're doing. They think they can make money. You will not make money unless the buyer and the seller sign a contract. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you're watching my video on YouTube, subscribe, click below. It says show more. Don't rush. Don't be excited. Read the full corporate offer. Everything is in there. Don't ask what is the price because our selling price, whatever the world market, less 8%. However, Wilhelmina will assist you. Wilhelmina will give you a good, fair price once you meet the criteria. You're gonna say, Wilhelmina, send me the full corporate offer. You are not paying attention. The full corporate offer is already here in front of you. You did not read. Do not come for conference unless you read the full corporate offer. Do not come. Because I don't have time to explain, because I already explained it. All question and answer is already here. I just come in because I just finished interviewing these buyers or joker broker. They are not paying attention. They are asking for CIF, cost insurance and freight. My dear, there is no way you can get cost insurance and freight only. How about paying the gold? That is normal. You have to pay the cost and insurance. You need to insure it. But how are you going to insure it if you have not paid the gold? So meaning to say you are going to launder. You're a launderer. You're a smuggler. You are going to teach us to smuggle to bring it to you. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work at all. So Mr. Buyer, do not be involved in gold business if you don't have this. Stay away because gold is the world asset. Go on my platform on Facebook. You will see why Russian company is in Africa. They're buying gold and brought it to Russia. And then they're gonna refine it into big gold bars called 99.99, and there is a serial number. Where the raw materials coming from? Africa. Why Australian mining company is in Mali and Conakry and Sierra Leone? Why Chinese are everywhere in Africa? Why? They are getting raw materials. Why Chinese are lending money in Conakry? The hotel that I stayed, owned by Chinese. Kalum Hotel owned by Chinese. Ami Hotel owned by Chinese. Nom Hotel owned by Congolese, millionaire Congolese. You, Mr. Buyer, you're a poor guy starting a business. You become rich. You will become rich if you have a capital. You will not become rich if you don't have a capital. You will not. You are going to fail. You are going to buy gold to bring it to Dubai. I know. And then you're going to resell it. Whatever the price of the day, you get the profit. And Wilhelmina will assist you only if you meet the criteria. You're going to say, Wilhelmina, what is the procedure? The procedure is already in front of you. Right? Wilhelmina, what is the price? Our selling price less 8%, $58,000. And you're going to say, oh, too expensive. Well, you're buying expensive item. And then you go around from group of people on WhatsApp thinking you can get cheap price. Well, that price that you have been offered, I've been watching on the group, are not the price. They are going to deceive you in order to tease you so that you can grab it. You don't want to deal with Wilhelmina. You went to Sierra Leone, you went to Mali, you went to Conakry. What happened? You didn't get the gold. Yes, I know. I met the buyer from Dubai staying at Nom Hotel. Failure. Thinking he can get the gold CIF. No way. Don't you know, Mr. Buyer, to mine the gold is not easy. The seller losing workers every week. Sometimes at heavy rain, there's a landslide. The seller lost worker. And you, Mr. Buyer, you're just sitting down on your chair, bring the gold to me, I will pay after final assay. It wouldn't work at all. Mr. Buyer, don't be a fool. I know, when I was in Dubai, I met a lot of fake sellers. There was an Yuki guy. He said he is a buyer. He come to my hotel and he was having lunch with me. He charged to my account. And suddenly I was shaking my head. And he was eating and eating. After eating, he said he has the buyer. But when he called me on Botim, he said, I am the buyer. Can you imagine that? He's a pumi. Yeah? And he's a liar. He doesn't have the money. He's been stuck in Dubai. looking. You would not. Nobody believes you if you don't have a capital. Yeah, you can sell the gold to Gold Souk. Yeah, this is the gold coming from Gold Souk that I purchased last year. I purchased 3 jewelry. Right. This is very expensive. Where the raw materials coming from? Africa. And this one here, raw material coming from Africa. Dubai has no raw materials. Yes. Australia, they have gold, but you cannot buy gold in Australia because they're running out. That's why they are in Africa. The richest woman in Australia positioning her company in Africa. I don't want to mention the richest woman. Just search on Google's the richest woman in Australia. Right. She's based in Western Australia. Why her company is in Africa? Getting the raw material because Australia cannot cope up the demand. The gold in Australia sold it to Mint Refinery. Right. So you, Mr. Small gold trader, you are crook. Excuse me. You're asking for CIF. You're asking to bring it to India. India is very strict. If you don't have importation license, you're gonna be considered as a smuggler. Most Indian they bring the gold to Dubai because Dubai is not strict, and then they bring it to India. That is not my job. I'm just sharing you because I read informations in India. The tax in importation tax is very high. Here in Australia, our government sales tax is 10%. In Africa, whether you like it or not, you have to pay the government sales tax, whether you like it or not. Some seller offer you cheap price. They don't tell you that. I am the only person who expand. I am the only person who promote Africa. Mr. Buyer, deal with us. I can guarantee you, you will not fail. Last year, I took American buyer and they were being scammed in Ghana. Ghana is a good country. Ghana is a beautiful, but the seller are fickle-minded. The seller is crooked. And when you make an appointment, 9 o'clock, they show up 11 o'clock. Even in Mali, even in Conakry, even in Sierra Leone, they have a bad habit. So it needs them to educate time management. Right. Mr. Buyer, I think I already explained to you. I just come in because I interviewed this buyer's mandate. This buyer's mandate didn't meet the criteria. And on her WhatsApp, I told her, you read it, go back to your WhatsApp, read it because her buyer looking for tons of gold. And I told her, when I look at on her WhatsApp, I already given you the full corporate offer on Mali and the video, but she didn't listen to the video. I told her, do not be excited. Another Asian, I don't want to mention his nationality. He went to Nairobi, failure. Another American. I know this American guy. He's stuck in Dubai for 3 years. He was been deported back to California. Why he was been deported? Running out of money. Right, he went to Kampala 3 years ago. He has only $40,000 and he said he will bring the gold 30 kilos and he is going to pay taxes. When he arrived in Dubai, didn't arrive the gold. What happened? He was being stuck. To stay in Dubai is not cheap. It's very expensive. Yes. And then suddenly this American guy, he become friends with me. Every time I come to Dubai, I invited him to come to Holiday Inn to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with me for free. Because I told this American guy, you better go back home. His passport was been taken away from him. So lucky, recently he was been deported. I told him, contact American Embassy, get the form. Now he's back home. Before he was being deported, he called me that he is homeless, staying at the Starbucks. I sent him 450 Australian dollars just to have food. My dear joker broker, there's so many Africans stuck in Dubai as well, running around in gold sock, bringing buyer to that shop so that shop money owner can give this African little money. There's so many African, Asian. There's also so many Filipinos. One Filipina that I sent her money when she was in Nairobi. Now she's in Dubai. I don't know what she's doing in Dubai. Maybe she's selling her fish. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw it on Facebook. Different. Smart is smart. I don't know what she's doing. She owe me. And she asked my favor to buy food when she was in Nairobi. She said she's going to return it and she didn't. So please, if you're going to smuggle gold, it is very dangerous. Don't smuggle gold because when you're gonna be caught, that is it. I saw on YouTube there was a Kenyan woman carrying the gold to India. What happened? In the airport, she was being arrested. Do you want to be arrested, Mr. Seller, smuggling? And the buyer says, bring it to Dubai. I will pay after final assay. Big no, Mr. Seller. If the buyer cannot afford to pay the gold, don't deal with it. Because to me, I wouldn't. And now, my seller says to me, thank God that you are with us, Mrs. Ford. And I told him, these people, international buyer, think that Africa is poor. Africa is rich on natural resources, but the people are poor. The government are not helping the people. If I am the government today, we are very rich on natural resources. I will make the country rich. Look at Brunei. Brunei is a very good country because the government educate the people. Mr. Seller, Mr. Government official, if you're watching me, please. You're rich on natural resources. Don't give in your resources to any smuggler. Don't. Establish your country, develop your infrastructure because you are very rich. The world thinking that you are a scammer. No, you are not a scammer. Africa is not a scammer. The people are trying to scumbag you, Mr. Baya. Yes. That's the reason why on this video I said to every video, do not travel without Wilhelmina. You will not go to the village. You place your order based on your contract, right? Your order would be reserved in the office. You will be in the office. How are you able to place an order? You listen to this video, click below, it is show more. The full corporate offer is on this video. Digest it properly. Then after you read, you come for conference, you send a letter of interest to purchase. Coming from you, Mr. Buyer. I don't want to deal with the joker broker cut and paste because I want to see whether the buyer is really serious or not. Mr. Buyer, don't be worried, don't be excited. You are buying $1 million here. And the seller would not assist you. They will say, come. Wilhelmina will be assisting you. I am your business facilitator. At the same time, I'm the seller marketing consultant on Monday. I have 2 jobs. I want you to come with us. I want you to deal long-term, not a short-term. You start a trial, Mr. Buyer. You start 10 or 20 kilos. Then you increase your order. If you want a big quantity, yes, Mali, we have 40 tons. Conakry, we have tons of gold. Just tell me. Then I will determine which seller I'm going to bring you. You need to come with Wilhelmina. Now, today we are April 1st, right? Next month, I have 2 booking already. First week of May, I would be in Africa. Then 20, another in Africa. I would meet this buyer in Dubai. But I will confirm these 2 buyers because they are registering their company. But they already meet the criteria. They are just waiting for their license. And I told these 2 buyers, fix first your license because I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to guide you. Then we will travel together. One buyer will travel to Mali and another one will travel to Sierra Leone. Then today I have 3rd buyer. They are going to travel to Conakry. And I told them, please, you meet the criteria. Now it's about time for you, Mr. Buyer, to send me a letter of interest to purchase. Attach your business registration, a copy. Attach your importation license. Attach your passport copy. Attach your financial background, your bank statement that you have $500,000 or $1 million. Without that, don't come. Because I am not interested to waste my time. I only interested to deal with you, Mr. Buyer, and then you will get a very good price. You're gonna say, well, Amina, do you think I'm gonna get the profit per kilo 6,000? Yes, you will. I might even give you $7,000 profit per kilo. I might, but don't bank on it because you have not convinced me. You need to convince me because I have the power to ask my head office to give you because I do charge my extra service. Instead of 8%, I might give you extra 5%. Right. Because you are paying my services. Right. In total, I might give you 13%. At the end of the day, you are a winner. You owe me a favor. I don't owe you a favor. Right? I am a good negotiator. But don't bank on it because you have not convinced me. Our selling price is at least 8%. I only tell my seller that I'm giving you a very good discount because you are paying my extra service. Put that into your head, Mr. Buyer. I think I already explained it again. All my video. You don't need to rush. Don't need to be excited. Listen from the beginning to the end. Click on says show more. Read it. Then that's the time you come for conference. I will summarize, Mr. Buyer. You're gonna say, well, Amina, I am a buyer. Okay? How did you know, Wilhelmina? I found you on YouTube. Okay? Did you read or did you listen to the video? Not really. Go back and read again. Because I don't have time to teach you. All question and answer is already here. So when you go back, you read and then you're going to say, well, Amina, too expensive. Well, you're buying expensive item, isn't it? So the world is not free. There is no free in this world. Price is price. However, when you convince Wilhelmina that 8% might be 13%, but don't bank on it because you have not convinced Wilhelmina. Now you're going to say, Wilhelmina, what is the requirement? The requirement is here in front of you. What necessary export documentation you're going to take? It's here in front of you. And what requirement you are going to comply? It is here in front of you. Everything is online. You don't need to say what is the price. On Monday, whatever the price, list 8%. So think about it. Listen to this video from the beginning to the end. Then after you finish listening to the video, click below. Read it. Then when you're ready, click on my platform on Facebook. You will see everything. You will see what you are looking for. Thank you very much, Mr. Baya. Today is April 1st. Place your order now because there is an prediction that the gold will turn to 2,500 at any time next week. Friday, the price of gold almost $64,000. So the stock exchange is closed today. Today is Saturday. That's the reason why I didn't come on live, but I came here because I just finished interviewing all joker broker. None of them didn't meet the criteria. So I will repeat again, Mr. Baya. Do not rush. Listen to this video. All videos are all the same. I just come for conference live because I want to share it. What I had interviewed with this time waster. Gold is not CIF, Mr. Baya. Gold is not cost, insurance, and freight only. This is FOB business. This is cash business. Gold is king. Gold is money. You're buying world asset, you must remember. So I hope you put that into your head. Gold is not free. It's not. Gold is cash business. Gold is real business. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening when you wake up each morning. Today is Saturday. I shall see you on Monday or Tuesday. I will update the price when the price turn to 2,000 per ounce.